Welcome back. In our last video we looked at setting up the sonar and connecting to our Arduino. This time we're going to look at connecting our lights and buzzer for the Jenga game. So I have a green light and a red light and just have this simple buzzer here. Okay, let me start off with looking at the light. Okay, remember on our lights we've got this long leg, which is the positive, and the short leg, which is the negative or ground. Now in the game, I like to have one light on this side of the board and one light over on this side, but it's really up to you wherever you want to put your lights. So I'm just going to put my green light, move this out of the way here, just going to put it over on this side. And just try and remember which one is the positive, which one is the ground. I often forget, have to take it out and look again. So let's see, I'm putting my positive just on the 55 there. Again, doesn't matter where you put it as long as you know. And first thing, I'm going to set up the ground for the lights and the buzzer. So I like to use the negative strip here on the breadboard for that. So I'm going to bring one connection. Let me just double check. Yes. So that's my short leg. So that's going to be my ground. Put that back in. So my ground is coming from here. Making sure this is all lined up there. My ground is coming there, and then I'm going to put that into the negative line there. Again, it doesn't matter. These markings are here just to help you, but it does help keep things simpler, especially as you get more and more connections. And then from here, I'm going to bring that from here into the ground port over on this side of the Arduino. Let's get that nice and lined up there. Okay, so I've got my ground going from here into here, and that via this one is connected to my shorter leg there. So that's the ground set up for my green light. So next I need to connect the longer leg, the positive leg, to a port, a digital port on the Arduino. Now it can be any number that you like from here, but in the code I've already got it set up to use number 12. So in the code number 12 is the green light. So I'm just going to connect from there next to the ground, and that's going to go into my number 12. Okay, so I've got number 12 connected to, lots of wires in the way there, connected to here, which is my longer leg, positive one. So that's the green light set up. And next, the same thing for the red light. I'm putting the red light over this side. So again, you need to know which leg you're dealing with. I'm just going to put my longer leg, the positive one, into the number 10, just so that I can remember where it is. And I'm just going to start off with the ground. So my ground leg here needs to be connected to the ground line, which I set up before, which was on this blue line, if you remember. So this line here is all connected all the way along here to there, which is then going into the ground port on the Arduino. So following that cable into there and all the way down there, which is connected to here, which is connected through the board to my ground leg there. Then I want to set up the positive leg for the red light. So let's get this out the way there. So that's this leg. It's going to go just there. And I already, in the code, have set the red light up to be number 13 on the board. So I'm going to put it into here. So this one is going into the number 13, just there. Okay, so that's my red and green light set up on my board. So finally, last part of the game is to get the buzzer connected. So that works just the same way as the lights. I'm going to put it just over here. Again, you see there's a long leg and a short leg. Doesn't really matter about where the buzzer is about seeing it, so I'm just going to put it somewhere nearer the back. Just there. So my long leg is going right on the edge here. That's my positive. In fact, I think I will swap that over just to make it easier later on. So my short leg is just on the edge here. That's the ground. So I'm just going to put that in. Now once the buzzer's in, you see now that's covering up the holes here. So that's not going to work. So I'm going to move it back a bit, right to the edge there. So my short leg is going in at the edge, and just putting that in. Doesn't seem to want to go in there. Let's move it up one. Okay. Now once it's in, sometimes tricky to see where the legs are. So kind of have to remember. I often find myself pulling it out, having a look, kind of propping it up a little bit like that, just so as I can see, and then putting it in all the way later on. So my negative line, that's here, and that has to again join to my negative line there. So that's the negative setup, and the positive, just like the light, is going into one of my digital ports here, and in my code I've got the buzzer set up to use port 11. So let's just make sure we get this in the correct place. Okay, so that's the line for the positive. So that's coming from here and going into, if I turn it this way, okay, it's getting harder and harder to see. There we go. So this is connected to the positive pin through the board. So now I've got those in place, I'm going to just push the buzzer all the way down, and then this needs to go to port 11 on the board, which is just, oops, it's harder now, there's so many things there, just there. So I've gone from number 11, this wire here, following it round to there, which is connected to the positive pin, which is there, and this white one, stand it up again, that's my ground. So there we have it, everything already connected from our sonar, green light to tell the player to start, red light and buzzer that sound when you've crossed the distance, all connected to our Arduino. So that's our wiring done, and the next step will be to set up the code.